My name is John Sullivan, and I have been friends with David Esrati since 2012. We first met playing men's league hockey in Huff and Puff. David would take me to the games because I lived only a few houses down from him in South Park Historic District. We would play hockey together, have some fun, and I got to know David a little bit through his connection with hockey. There's some people I have to thank for introducing me to David. One of them is Bill Daniels, owner of Dayton's Original Pizza Factory. I worked for Bill on and off for about 7 years, and he is one of our hockey buddies in the hockey circle. It was only a few years later when I found myself in some trouble with the law, and I ended up in Summit Behavioral Health in Cincinnati in 2016. Bill Daniels brought David down to Summit to sign off on power of attorney responsibilities. I got out of Summit. I was in Eastway Behavioral Health, a halfway house where I was staying temporarily. But when I got out of there, I didn't have a place to live. And David offered up his home to me to stay on his couch for several days, maybe a week or so, before he stepped in and found me a place to live up off of Wayne Avenue in Dayton that was affordable enough for me to handle with my Social Security disability income, because I suffer from a mental disorder, Bipolar 1 disorder. I tried to get VA benefits back in 1994 when I was discharged from the Air Force, and I had trouble getting VA benefits. David was there to offer the help. He knew the channels to go through and the people to contact. Identify as a veteran through a friend of his, Jim Butler. We were able to get VA benefits for me. David fought pretty hard for me to make sure that I was taken care of by the VA, had health care and dental and vision and all of that. And I'll be eternally grateful for what David did for me, helping me get the VA benefits, because my quality of life and the amount of money that I get from the VA and my Social Security disability income today is more than enough to live off of. David took me from renting a house on Wayne Avenue to living in another one of his friends' rental homes in South Park, and I later ended up buying that home, which David arranged with the owner, and it was the first house I had ever bought in 2019. And then a couple years later, there was a bigger home for sale right around the corner in South Park Historic District that I was able to buy. And David prepared the homes for me, setting up all the appliances and making sure that it was in good shape for me to live in, and always coming over to work on the house, because David's a pretty handy guy, a jack of all trades kind of. Since 2019, when I first moved around the corner from David and he started managing my medications and holding me accountable for taking them in the morning and at night, things have improved greatly in my life. I'm more stable, and I feel like I have the support from David to help me make good decisions and live a better life. Today, David has gone from being my power of attorney and fiduciary of my VA benefits to guardian of person for me. And I couldn't think of a better person. I'm just real grateful. So. want you to know how appreciative I am. Only people that have cared about me as much as you, probably my parents. Sometimes I wonder why you did this. No way I would have. David taking over the responsibility of guardian of person is pretty amazing. He had to put in an application. I didn't even know about it. It was a process, but David, stuck by me, and was steadfast in his willingness to want to help, and I give him a lot of credit for that, and I love him for that. 2021, my brother Peter was in trouble with the law out east. He had taken a road trip, kind of unannounced and unexpectedly, with his dog and his girlfriend and her children. And Peter suffers from bipolar 1 disorder as well, and he was manic and got in some trouble with the law. And his dog was in the car when he was pulled over, and his dog was put into a shelter. And David has a good friend, Dan Curran, who was president of the University of Dayton for 14 years. Dan Curran had spoken with David and heard the story about me having to fly out east, and he offered to help. Out of the kindness of his heart, he said he would drive from Philadelphia to Delaware to meet me at a little regional airport, get the dog out of the shelter, and then drive me back to Philadelphia to an Airbnb that I'd be staying in. And we were able to successfully get the dog out. For me to tell you guys about David is that to know David, to really know him, is to love him. He's just he's a beautiful soul. I mean, he has a great heart. And when he does something that he believes in, he's all in. He gives it 100%. And I've never believed that you can give more than 100%, but if you can, he does. And he's very special to me. After all David has done for me, he has locked down my vote for him for Congress on May 5th. David fought for me, and he'll fight for you in Congress. He'll never let you down.